Can you talk about the first half that Booth had? Obviously, in previous games, Marcus was the one that led you back, and this time it was Booth.
He was really good. Yeah, I mean, obviously 21 points is great, but what I loved was that 9 rebounds. You know, we have to do a better job rebounding the basketball. And the better blockouts we have, there's going to be more opportunities for guards to get rebounds. So he was terrific. The more that we can rebound, the better we can get out on the break. And he's obviously a blur when he gets out on the break.
Next, we will go over to Sam Ekstrom.
Hey, Coach. How good was it to see Brandon and Liam tonight without the burden of foul trouble?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, Brandon, that was probably his best game. You know, he was physical at the basket. He was tough. He made plays when we needed him to. But, yeah, when you're not in foul trouble and you're not under duress like that, you know, you can kind of rotate those guys in and out because big guys are going to get tired. But they were big down the stretch. I thought we did a much better job in the second half of just establishing that low post threat. And Brandon was really, really good down the stretch. Liam rebounded the ball well. I think he's still missing a couple at the basket, but he'll get there as well.
AJ Condon, over to you.
Coach, it seems that transition game has been a big part for you guys in these first 4 games. It was pretty evident tonight that it is helping your offense. You can talk about how important that is going forward.
It's huge, but we can't do it unless we rebound the ball. You know, I mean, if you cut down 5 offensive rebounds, let's say, and, you know, that's 8 or 9, you probably got 8 to 10 more points because we're pretty good. We get out and run, so we've got to do a better job on middle ball screens. We've gotten hurt the last 2 games on that. So we got to work on that a little bit, but overall it's such a weird time with a bunch of new guys that, you know, you're just going to have to learn every single day you possibly can. And I think there's a lot of teaching moments here.
Next, we'll go to Andy Greder.
Richard, what did you feel like was lacking from an energy standpoint in the first half and defensively in the first half too?
I think it was, again, rebounding. You know, I mean, they shot 37% in the first half, but we weren't rebounding the ball. The couple long rebounds, middle ball screens, like I said before, that's hurting us. So we got to do a better job of coaching that. And I thought our energy picked up obviously in the second half and pulled away there when we needed to.
Now I'm just waiting to see if another question is going to trickle in here. Marcus Fuller, over to you now.
Obviously, haven't been shooting the 3 as well this year, but guys like Booth are taking it to the basket. Marcus, I mean, how critical is that when guys are attacking and going to the foul?
Just got to play the right way. You know, I mean, if you got an open shot, you take it. If not, you reverse it, you drive it, you get it inside. When you're still trying to figure out, when you have 6 new bodies, just kind of continuity and flow offensively. So it's a work in progress. It's not where it needs to be by any means. But I think we'll have some really good looks at the film on it for sure.
And AJ, back to you now.
Gabe Kalshi has kind of been struggling shooting the ball in these first 4 games. I believe he's now 2 of 17 from 3. How much confidence do you still have in him, and just letting him know that once he gets hot, he keeps shooting stuff like that?
Again, as I said before, I don't judge Gabe's play by made threes or not. This is back-to-back games where he's made winning plays. Last game, he made a charge. He knocked down big free throws. Again, he knocked down big free throws tonight. He got an offensive rebound that was huge. So I don't make a big deal out of that. That's not my barometer for success for Gabe. I clearly have faith in him. He's still playing major minutes because he brings a lot of other great things to the table. So that really is the least of my worries.
And do we have any more last questions for Coach? All right. Off the hook, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. And here in a few minutes, we'll move over to players Brandon Johnson and Booth Gach in just a couple minutes. All right, Brandon, thank you for joining us. So we're obviously going to start off with Brandon Johnson. And again, just as a reminder, please message me if you would like to ask a question. And we'll get started here as soon as one rolls in. Somebody's got to go first. Andy, start us off, please.
Brandon, did you feel like this was your best game in a Gopher jersey, and why?
I believe so because I affected the game on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively, just with the intensity and everything. So I believe so, yes.
Now, AJ, over to you.
Brandon, this is your second start on the maroon and gold. Last game out, you had some fouls, or you had some trouble with foul. What was the difference between this game and last game, and how are you able to stay out of foul trouble?
Pretty much just keeping my head because majority of my fouls was me just trying to be over aggressive. So I just kept my principles, stay disciplined and everything. So I won't get silly fouls that'll cost later in the game. So
now we will go to Sam Ekstrom.
Hey, Brandon, how big an emphasis as a team was rebounding coming into this one after you guys struggled with that a little bit against Marymount?
it was a major emphasis on it. The last practice, we pretty much spent the entire time working on boxing out, having drills where pretty much everybody 5-on-5 was crashing and making sure that we don't make that mistake again that we made last game.
Next, we'll go to Marcus Fuller.
Brandon, can you just talk about, obviously, moving forward, you're going to play a Power 5 team in Boston College next week in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. It's a step up in competition. So what have you learned from these first few games for you, having to play a Power 5 team like that for the first time with the Gophers?
Just mainly just keep our heads. As long as we play hard and stay true to our principles on both ends of the floor, I believe that we can succeed against anybody, honestly. And these past couple games was a great test of our discipline and everything. And it gave us a couple trials here and there, but that's only going to make us better in the future. So I appreciate it.
And any last questions for Brandon before we let him go? Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Brandon. You're off the hook. You have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
And just a couple minutes here until we wrap it up with Booth Gach. Thank you, everyone.
See how you do there. There you go.
All right, Booth, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
We're going to wrap it up with Booth Gach tonight. So as soon as anyone has a question prepared, we'll get this started off. Marcus, we'll start with you.
Oops, can you talk about just being able to get in the transition when you guys do rebound the ball better and how that made a difference?
Yeah, for sure. Every time, coach is always talking about, running transition, try to get, opportunities as much as we can, but it's got to start off on the, defensive end, getting those, defensive rebounds, whenever, we get a defensive rebound, it's in one of our guards' hands, we're looking to push it, we're trying to get fast buckets and, just trying to play like that, to be honest.
Andygreder, over to you.
With Brandon talked about the focus on rebounding in the last practice. What do you guys feel like you still need to work on that end?
Yeah, for sure. We've back used the last couple of days, practice, working on our rebounding and things like that. But I feel like I can get better. Some you still got to improve on, some you still got to clean up. And I just feel like, as soon as we do that, keep getting those reps in, hitting bodies, checking our guys, see if they're crashing anything. We're going to be, become a better defensive team. But, it's going to start off on the defensive end, getting those stops, not letting the team get second chance points.
And AJ, over to you now.
Booth, we've seen what Marcus Carr has been able to do with the ball and scoring points, but he was able to distribute the ball a lot better tonight. He had 9 assists, and a few of those definitely were going to you. How important is it for you to have him kind of helping distribute the ball on offense?
Yeah, for sure. As we continue to keep playing more games and things like that, teams are going to do a good job scouting. They're going to take away what pretty much good at. So for Marcus, for him, is just being able to get other guys going, things like that. Because he's a greght player. He's gonna be one of those guys that he's gonna be on everyone's top of everyone's scouting report and things like that. So for him, it's all about distributing the ball, making the right reads, and he's really good at it.
Next, we will go to Marcus Fuller.
Both same question asked Brandon. Just next week, you're gonna play a major conference opponent for the first time in Boston College. It's a step up in competition. What have you learned from these first 2 games, and especially the last 2 close ones that you can pull into next week?
We just gotta be tough, just coming from the start, bringing a lot of energy. As we continue to get moving on this season, we're gonna have better competition and things like that. So for us, it's all about being tough and doing the dirty work, and not letting back and playing calm and too easy. We gotta get up in guys defensively. We gotta execute.
And do we have any last questions for Booth? Andy, ask another one.
Ruth, was this the game where we maybe saw your speed and transition more so than any other previous game?
Yeah, I feel like, I got, more opportunities in this game, just get out and run. One thing, we knew North Dakota, is one of those, teams we can run out. So for me, it's just taking that advantage, getting those opportunities.
All right, and last call for Booth. All right, Booth, you're off the hook. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Appreciate you joining us and giving us your time. Same to everybody else. Thanks for hopping on. Everyone have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day off.
You too.